Today we're riding the DYU D3F Mini E-Bike, coming up in this video. What's up everyone? Back with another video. Today we're looking at the DYU D3F Mini E-Bike from DYU. This is a mini e-bike, super portable, tiny little tires. I'm gonna take it around, do some deliveries with it, and go over the specs of it. Right off the bat, I really enjoy these tiny little e-bikes. I find them really fun to ride, and I find them really convenient for city riding and for like commuting and kind of getting around, running small errands. When it comes out of the box, it actually comes basically fully assembled. All you have to do is put the handlebar on and adjust things to where you want and put the seat on. But for the most part, it comes fully assembled basically like this, which is nice because if you aren't particularly handy or don't want to deal with it, you basically just pull it out and attach a few things and you're good to go. The battery is inside that middle part where the DYU logo is, and it is not a removable battery. So that's one thing about this bike, is you do have to bring it inside to charge. It doesn't fold or anything, so this is kind of the size of it that you see. The handlebars do fold down, and I'll show that later. For the tires, it uses 14-inch tires. 14 inches is obviously very tiny for a bike. Just to get an understanding of how big that is, my son's bike uses 14-inch tires, and he's 4 years old. So that shows you kind of how little this bike is. The seat is adjustable, just goes up and down, just a little cushion seat, and it does have a little bit of shocks on the back. It uses mechanical disc brakes, nothing special here, but for a bike this small, you don't really need a lot of stopping power as it is. The top speed on this bike is 15 miles per hour, and it has an advertised range of about 15 miles. The handlebars, you've got the power on the left side here. You push this to turn it on and off. Comes with a little bell. On the right here, it has your power level here, up to 4 dots on it. And then this button here is for the light. Also got the throttle here, twist throttle on the right side. One nice thing is it does have this part here where you can adjust the handlebars to your liking. You can kind of put the handlebars to where you want it. I'll just kind of leave it here and kind of center it up. Has a light. It does not have an integrated rear light. What they do instead for the rear light is just they give you this this little light that you can just attach on here. It's just a little red light, nothing special on that one. Looking over at the gears here, this is a single speed bike, no gear shifting or anything, which is kind of good actually for a commuting bike because it's just one less thing to have to worry about maintaining. A little bike like this, you're not really going to be using for pedaling anyway. You'll notice it does come with fenders. It's got this little kind of rear fender right here to help protect some splashing. It's got this little front fender here to protect against a little splashing there. So a thing I like about this bike is it has this handlebar here, so you can just pick it up and hold it. Makes it very portable. And then you can see here it also has this part here that you can just come down and fold down the handlebars. So very convenient. When you're done, you just fold it back up and close it up like that, and you're good to go. And the charging port is right down here. You just plug it in. Again, as I said, not a removable battery, so you're gonna have to bring this inside. So yeah, that's a look overall at the DYU D3F Mini E-Bike. It's not an expensive bike either, so a nice kind of bike to get if you're just kind of thinking about a little e-bike for commuting and getting around. You live in a small place or in a dense area. Very nimble little bike. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take it out and do some deliveries and see how it works doing deliveries on this really tiny e-bike. So let's check it out. Okay, we are out on the DYU D3F Mini E-Bike, and we got 2 deliveries right now. One DoorDash order from Sweet Green and an Uber Eats order from Noodles & Company. And they're both on the same direction, so this should work out well. And here we are at Sweet Green. As always with Sweet Green, I always put a fork in there. So with this mini e-bike, you can pedal it. It's actually not that bad to pedal this bike, but most people aren't gonna pedal, and I wouldn't wanna really pedal this bike. I really think of this bike more like a scooter. So you can see when you pedal this bike, really doesn't do a lot pedaling it. But on the throttle, it's not so bad. Getting 15 miles an hour. And you know what's good about the DYU? It's real good for these small areas like in the sidewalks and stuff. Well, I'm going right here. Okay, we're here at Noodles and Company. Let's grab this order.
I'll have that for you in a minute.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's for Trey. All right, we got that delivery picked up from Noodles and Company. That's probably the longest I've ever had to wait actually for an order there. They're always on point. So they were just busy today, I guess, which is fine. And so we got both orders, and this first order is going just around the stadium here to one of the science buildings. And then the second order, the Uber Eats order, is going up to Surly Brewery actually, which is right up the Intercampus Transitway. It's a little bit of a distance, so we'll see how this bike does. So mini e-bikes are a form factor that I really like a lot. I just think they're fun to ride, and they're really useful for city riding because they're nimble and quick and good for like going through congested areas and that kind of thing. These aren't bikes that you're gonna ride long distances or anything. And this DYU here isn't like a super fast bike. So the top speed on this bike, there actually is no speedometer, but I do have a speedometer app on my phone. So if we pull that out, let's see how fast we are going. We're going 14, 15 miles an hour, which for city riding is totally fine. Like, it's good enough. There are other mini e-bikes out there though that can go 20, but they're a little bit bigger. The advantage of this mini e-bike is that it's so small. There's probably not many bikes that are smaller than this one. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just pass it? Yes, I did.
Probably not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, it's okay if I leave it here? Thank you. Oh, perfect. There you go, have a good one. All right, we got that one completed. Customer came down to me, so that was good. And now we're going to Surly. It's probably about a mile from here, so this will be a little bit of a longer ride to get there on this. And we're kind of testing the range. Because a bike like this, it's probably about 15 miles of range, but depending on hills and stuff, it could be less. So we're gonna be playing it loose on the range. We'll see how it does. So for ride quality, I think this bike rides real smooth actually. It's actually like, I don't know why it's smooth. It doesn't feel so bad. I think it's just because it's small. So, you know, you kind of just avoid the bumps, and it doesn't really have a whole lot of bike to shake around, if that makes sense. So looking over the handlebars, you got the power button here on the left. Over here, you got, this controls the lights and shows you the power on it. It has 1 to 4 bars. I've already ridden it a little bit today, so it's down to 3 bars, and I'm going uphill, which is gonna drain the battery a little bit more. Comes with this little bell, just a regular cheap bell. It's got this middle part here where you can lift this up and you can change the position of the handlebars. And yeah, 14-inch tires, which is pretty typical for these mini e-bikes. And you gotta remember, 14-inch tires means really small. My son's kid's bike is 14-inch tires, and he's 4 years old, so that should give you an idea of just how small these kind of tires are. Boy, this whole area has really been developing. This used to be nothing. Now you got apartments and everything over here. It's nice. All right, customer asked me to meet him at the front entrance of Surly. Nice thing with the bike is I can just pull right up to the front. Hey.
700, I guess. It says my PIN.
6700?
That's correct, yeah.
Perfect. All right, have a good one. That was good, easy delivery. We're gonna head back, try to hopefully get some more. I'm filming this on a Monday, and Monday always is the slowest delivery day. Some more about this DYU bike. There's no gears on it, so it's just single speed. Kind of good actually, it makes it less maintenance to deal with, but pedaling can be a little bit difficult. And you know, I like to ride a lot no-hand, so you can see here it is no-handed riding. Kind of, it takes a little balancing to do that, just because of how small this bike is. And you know, one thing you gotta remember with a bike like this is you gotta be real comfortable with looking a little funny. Ooh, this one's a good one. We'll take this one. We got Chick-fil-A going across the river, paying $8, so it's a good paying order. But yeah, doing deliveries on this bike, I'll tell you, I still got 3 bars, but you definitely would not want to do deliveries for too long on this bike. If you're in like a dense area, this would be good for that, where you're not going real far. So here I'm delivering around University of Minnesota campus, and so that keeps me kind of in a close-knit area. But I definitely wouldn't be able to deliver like all day with this bike because it's just not going to have the range to handle that, and it's just a little bit too slow too at 15 miles an hour. It's a good bike for kind of this style of riding here, because you can see just how nimble it is. I can just kind of fit right between all these things. Weight could be a problem. It really depends on how big you are. I'm not very big, and so this bike works well for me. I'd say if you're over 200 pounds, probably you're not gonna want to use a bike like this. The real nice thing about this bike though, from a delivery perspective, like doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, this bike is pretty cheap, and so it wouldn't be too hard to make your money back if you got this bike. All right, we're gonna cut across here. The Chick-fil-A is right over here. This would be a good place here to show how you can carry the bike. Okay, so we're here at some steps, and then what you do here, it's got the nice handle here. I can just pick it up and bring it right up the steps, and then roll it right up to the window. Hey, how you doing? Pick up for Maori. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Look at that, with this little bike, that pickup window, it's like a drive-through window for me. And I know where this address is going, although I don't think I've delivered to these houses before. So here's the pedaling motion of this bike. Doesn't really do much pedaling it. More fun to just throttle it. It uses a twist throttle on the right, which I always prefer twist throttles more. They're just easier, especially because if I'm holding a drink like this, twist throttle just makes it easier for me to hold the drink. You know, if I was a college student, I would definitely be looking at a bike like this because you can store it inside easily because it's so small. So what we're gonna do here is this bike path goes to some stairs. It's annoying because it just kind of ends at these stairs, but this mini e-bike's so little, I should be able to just carry it down the stairs, no problem. Now, one thing to note, for me, this bike works well because I live in a pretty flat area. Obviously, you live somewhere with a lot of hills, you're probably not gonna wanna get this bike because the power on it is not gonna be a lot. I mean, and you wouldn't expect a lot of power for such a little bike. If you got hills to deal with, you're not gonna wanna use this bike. But if you have stairs to deal with, this is a good bike for that. See right here, I just carry it. Very easy. I don't feel so bad riding on the sidewalk because it's really small. I just don't feel like I take up that much space. And I don't go that fast on it too. Okay, I think it's down this way. I think it's one of these guys. Ah, I found it. Okay, good. That one is delivered. And now we got nothing, so I think we're just gonna head back. Now the question is, do we take on the hill test? I think we are going to take on the hill test. It's a risky play though, because it's gonna really take up a lot of juice. I might end up walking it up there. Basically, we got this giant hill over here. It's probably one of the biggest hills in the city. I don't think this bike can make it up that hill, but we will go and see how it does. All right, here we go, hill test. Coming up to the right here, and we'll see if it can go. You know what? I think it can make it up this. I'm pedaling to help along, but I'm not pedaling that hard. And it's definitely using up a lot of juice on this battery, I can see. But I am actually going up this hill, no problem. This is probably the only real big hill in the whole city that I have to really think about. There's only like a handful of them. So actually, surprisingly, it worked. I seriously thought it was not gonna have the power to make it up that. So that was actually pretty good. So yeah, what else is there to discuss with this bike while we're waiting around for another delivery, if we can get another delivery? I guess I could talk about the brakes. So brakes here, just regular mechanical disc brakes, but they do the job. And for a bike this small, you really don't need a lot of fancy brakes, especially since it only goes 15 miles an hour. But yeah, in terms of who this bike is well suited for, I would say I'd be looking at commuters, people with ideally fairly short commutes, who would rather the advantage of this versus like getting a scooter is you can sit and kind of be comfortable. And I think it's a little easier to carry because it has the handle and isn't kind of oddly shaped like the way a scooter can be. Oh, we got another delivery going over there. Let's take it. We'll take this one. We got a sweet green order, and it's going just back to where we were, so about a mile. And I think we're gonna grab it because I'd like to get a 4th delivery in. But yeah, so I was saying, commuters with shorter commutes who are looking for like something to sit down and be more comfortable with, this works out pretty well, I think. I think students, like a college student, really would be good for this one because of the fact you can bring it inside. And really anyone who has a small storage area, so who doesn't have a ton of places to put it, and if you don't want to have to leave your bike outside, this is a good one. The one thing to remember is the bike is not a removable battery, so if you want to charge it, you got to bring the whole thing in. So in terms of commuting, it's actually maybe a little bit less helpful than like a regular e-bike because at least with a regular e-bike, you can take the battery out usually and charge up at your desk or something. I think most people would be able to bring this inside because it is really small. And then for food delivery, I think that there's some use cases for this as a food delivery vehicle. Like, you're not gonna be able to deliver for a long time with it, although I still have plenty of juice from the looks of it. Maybe there's more to it as a delivery vehicle than I think. But let's go grab this one first. Yeah, pick up for Xavier. Oh, perfect. So one advantage as a delivery vehicle is the low step-through height on this bike. Does make it easy to get on and off. And I've always said this before that one underrated aspect of a bike to think about is how quick you can get on and off of it. When you're doing food delivery, you're getting on and off a lot. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does make a difference when you're able to just kind of jump off real fast. And this one here, you can definitely jump on and off quickly. So let's see, I got 2 bars. I don't know how many miles I've ridden right now, but I mean, I've done 3 deliveries. I'm about to do a 4th. Yeah, one thing about this bike, it is super quiet. Like a lot of other bikes, they make sounds with the motor. This bike makes no sound at all. It's like completely dead silent. I went back up to 3 bars. So yeah, as a delivery bike, I think I like it. Like this is definitely a bike I would use, honestly, just for like my short deliveries, because you know, a lot of times I only do deliveries for like an hour or so, just like during lunch rush when I have a break. And this bike actually works out really well for that. It's so small and the price is right. Doesn't really take long for you to make your money back. And then you've essentially got yourself a free bike. But yeah, food delivery, I think it works totally fine for that. But it really will depend on, you know, the style of riding you do and, you know, how dense the area you work in is. And also just like, you know, how long you're trying to work and, you know, what your goals are with food delivery. For me, food delivery is a side hustle for me. So this is basically a pretty good bike for like side hustling like that. And, you know, if you're somewhere with a lot of stairs, like where I am right now, actually, this works out pretty well because once again, we come to some stairs and I just pick it up. All right, we're just going to the apartment building over there. All right, let's see, give him a call.
Hello.
Hey, this is Kevin with DoorDash. I'm just downstairs with your order. Oh, I see you.
Thank you.
There you go, have a good one.
You too.
All right, we got that one delivered. You know, the nice thing about this bike is you can kind of just like ride it without ever having to get off of it. You just ride up like to doors and up ramps and stuff. And it's really comfortable and easy because it's so small. Okay, well, we got 4 deliveries completed. And I think I kind of got a good overview of how this bike works. So I think, unless I get anything else, I think I'm probably gonna call it there. I'd have to look. I actually have no idea what I made. I don't think it was very much. I didn't get a ton of orders today, so kind of a slow day today. Oh, we gotta carry it up these steps again, but should be easy to do. So yeah, anyway, I think that's probably gonna do it for my video for today. So you can see the DYU D3F Mini E-Bike. Very interesting bike. It's a little tiny bike, with some interesting specs and affordable and pretty fun to ride. I just have a blast riding this type of bike. Yeah, if you're in the market for a mini e-bike, this is definitely one you want to look at. The form factor of it is great, and it's probably one of the smallest bikes you can get. So people in small apartments, if you're in a dense area, you don't care about going like, you know, super fast or anything, this is a good bike to look at. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think I am going to get back to work. So thanks for watching this review of the DYU D3F Mini e-bike. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment, shoot me a message. And until next time, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.